Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing today? I am your planetary defense commander, Star-Lord New Thor 7, and I have a theory that when the sun acts weird, Earth weather acts weird, and then people act weird. And so I've spent like about 6 years trying to prove this theory. I'm pretty sure I slam dunked it a long time ago. So, on days like today, Mayday number 9, 2019, when we have not just one solar storm headed our way, and I hear that thing is wearing a crown, it would appear to me that we have a second major solar storm headed our way. Now, have no fear. We've got options before us. Bang. Yep, that looked almost dang near directly Earth facing. What we've got going on here is 2 sunspots surrounded by what appears to be a coronal hole and a super mega fuzzy tennis ball shaggy filament action going on all around the sun. So, I don't know what you're going to do with your solar minimum, solar maximum, sunspot, and solar flare chart, but I'm just going to look at the sun and say, yep, we are on pretty much as high of alert as we've ever been at Asteroid Fight Club. The Astonishers, Thor News, call it what you want to. Okay. And we're now at 400 rivers flooding. Technically, it's 397. But in honor of math, I've rounded up. And I'd said there's a good chance we can be at 500 rivers flooding by the end of the month. And, well, we still got 2/3 of the month to go, so that prediction is looking mighty solid. And so, as you can see, we've got an entire wet river complex happening down here in the south being East Texas, Houston, Galveston, everybody's favorite Surfside, Louisiana. It is affecting multiple states up and down in the middle. Now, you may not have heard that much. That we've had levees break in Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska, like levees. I think at least a dam or 2. We have major flood situations going on. Total crop and live devastation. But it's like the media is pretty much here, so they cover whatever the media wants to cover. And then politicians are pretty much here, and they cover whatever politicians want to cover. And then social networking is pretty much here, and they cover whatever they want to cover. And so the middle of America doesn't really get that great of coverage. And what I've learned is that in situations like we got going on now, where you have major flooding that is ongoing and will continue through May, probably through June into hurricane season, which could then send the what the fuck multiplier through the roof, that although we are a nation of the United States of America, when it comes to disasters, it would seem that the overall attitude is that it's the state's responsibility and the federal government will step in, help where and help when and when they can, where and when they can. Because those guys are busy running for an election in 543 days. I got time to be worrying about planetary defense problems like this right now, because I've been, A, suggesting we build safe cities in these areas since 2015, and I mean cities of the future, and B, I highly recommend a shift west. I think Texas is one of the leaders in state independence with DIY. I mean, we're already united. Texas is pretty united, you know. And so I would recommend having some type of calm migration to the west for some people, because I think the Mississippi River, which continues to widen and pop levees like buttons on a pair of pants when you're gaining weight, this area could widen and stay wide. I have a theory at Thor News that when all the gas giants are on the same side, that's when we get a lot of earthquake and volcano action. It would be about a 6-year period, but we could see some major changes along the way that we could adapt to. But so far, in my 6-year quest to unite people to get people prepared, we haven't done that yet. Oh, let me check and see if my audio working. Is crazy shit going on? I don't know, man. It's been hard bringing you the news sometimes. Can you hear me? See, but the chemtrailing has been I'm going to tell you what I know. And remember, I'm 47. I've pretty much been at this technically since I was age 7, when I was like, I'm going to save the world. And everyone's like, no, you can't do that. Anywho, so I've been on this quest, to unite the world and then take a step in the future. I saw that it would be difficult. And what you got going on here is that they're chemtrailing because the sun is freaking out. I mean, I don't know how often you stare at the sun or you look at the sun. All the new sundog pictures are a good example of that one. Did you see sundogs before 2012? Did ice crystals exist before 2012? That this is what the sun is doing. And if you look at it with your eyes, you'll see that it's changing. And so I think you got a lot of UV rays, cosmic rays. And the thing about the sun is it's like a alchemical furnace. And so you don't necessarily know the chemicals inside the sun or the chemicals that the sun puts out always. It varies. And so, they are trying to combat the changes that I can't stress enough to you, that they are not in control of the core of the planet. Okay, let's say this is our sun, and I can verify the sun stuff with my eyes. Let's say this is the core inside of our planet, right? We all believe there's a molten core. And so, if our little molten core is doing this, then as the sun puts out solar wind, our molten core will put out its own type of inner plasma, which will turn into interior ingredients of Earth. And so, the inside of our star, or the inside of our planet, is probably mirroring the sun right now. I mean, that makes super logical sense. And so, there's so much moisture in the atmosphere. No human being in their right mind on some type of master level would be like, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill the snow globe with water, even though they're human beings and they're not fish. Look at all this moisture. That is way more. If you're like Lex Luthor, you can do a lot of damage with way less moisture than that. That on whatever level of man can and can't control, that there's no way you need that much moisture. Where'd it go? Yeah, so anyway, Texans, I highly recommend not getting into what I consider kind of like a discussion shutter downer. Chemtrails, that's who's chemtrailing, why are they doing it? Well, A, it's probably solar radiation management. B, because their sun has been freaking out since 2012, which I think I've made 1,000 videos discussing and documenting. All right, so you got giant fucking planets, man. And you look at all these planets on the same side. Let me remind you, Jupiter is that big, Saturn's that big, and Earth is that size. Okay? And so, Junior, where were we? And so at this point, we are here. And so you have Jupiter, giant megaplanet, Saturn, giant megaplanet, Pluto, Ceres, Mercury. You got only little ass Mars, and Mars may act big, but Mars is tiny. And then Uranus. And then there's Eris. So even if this were a basketball team or dodgeball, this is definitely not weighted. And so, you know, my theories are solid. Like when months ago I said the May 11th through 23rd period is going to be rough, earthquakes, volcanoes. When I called the hurricanes this year in September, in the middle, 2019, and October, like I'm calling this shit from all the stuff that I've done. And so, like, if you can't believe that too, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, but we got major fucking problems right now. Because the rain is going to continue through the south and pushing on up. Just nonstop. Oh. What was it? Cinnabung? The big Cinnabung volcano. It had a major eruption. Like 2 days ago. Uno momento. All right, so this is Popocatépetl in Mexico. Now follow me if you can. This volcano has been going off all year. Pretty much every single day of 2019. This volcano here has been erupting, ashing out, gassing out lava, like for a year, like almost 4 months. And it's had some major eruptions. This volcano right here has been as active as pretty much any volcano on the planet. And so that's why you had the high pressure heat here from this very active volcano range. And then the moisture's going around both sides. And technically on the 22nd is when we're watching for any type of new Pacific Northwest volcanic activity. So, yeah, I don't know. This is like my school of Kung Fu. It's we believe in the sun and the volcanoes and the sky. And nobody seems to remember in 1999 to 2008, everybody's like, oh my God, the supercomputers backed up all the mortgage-backed securities and credit default swaps and synthetic debt obligations. And then 2008 hit, and it was like, oh, that was a total lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so the whole thing about them controlling the weather, that's a lie. Unless it's like Civilization 3 aliens, okay, sure, you got me. And then, yeah, that'll decrease my chances of uniting the world and then saving our planet. But I'm doing okay. And so, yeah, this heavy flooding area, we've had the major volcano situation here. And so that same rain band, same exact rain band, same way it's been doing, that goes from the Baja area up through Texas, through the south, over Florida, all the way up the coast. Like, I've been covering it for it does it every day, all the time. Not every day, but mostly. It's just been happening again and again and again. And so I've been pointing this out for a while. And so now we're getting into the next step of the generation. And so to make our problems more challenging, the wonderful, absolutely badass Dr. Tamitha Skov pointed out, direct hit, coronagraph data, and NOAA prediction model confirms the latest solar storm launch should indeed hit Earth. Impact near mid-afternoon, May 11th. Oh, wow, the exact day that I gave for my earthquake warning. Expect emergency ham radio and GPS reception issues on Earth's right side. Aurora possible down to mid-latitude. You mean like Texas mid-latitude? I've never seen an aurora. That would be interesting. Okay, so yeah, it looks like a direct hit, and someone was saying it's like the perfect coronal crown. I don't know. I'm not as good as the science part as everybody else. Asterisk. And so I highly recommend checking out her videos on YouTube. Space Weather Woman. She's one of the very small team of people who talk about solar weather. And she's always great. Halo CME, even though it was so diffuse, it escaped automated detection for animation. A side view from stereo suggests it may have been directed towards us. And she'll discuss the geomagnetic impact. So yeah, I mean, I put this on alert for the middle of May, specifically the 11th through like the 23rd, a couple months ago. And usually if I do that, it's with really good reason. But, I don't know, like I said, it's really frustrating because last like 3 years, everybody's been like, Hillary's going to jail. The last 2 years, people have been like, Trump's going to prison, getting impeached. I'm like, no. So I get it right all the time, or most of the time. And people still are, I don't know, stuck in 2015. Why does it feel like everybody's still so stuck in 2015? It's crazy. Anyways, there was our, like, we have 2 solar storms coming, and it gets back to that question. What was the question? Oh. If you have a piece of wood that is 1 light year and a half long, and you push it an inch, how fast did that piece of wood move? All right, let's get to the heavy stories because this is a serious situation for Texans. Hello, Texans, if you're here. Yeah, being above that volcano, in Texas and New Mexico and the areas, we're going to be getting a large brunt of the rain. All right, Jeff Linder. Thunderstorms with heavy rainfall are rapidly developing. Street flooding will be developing Houston. And Houston can flood fast, but it also can drain fast. Although with the amount of rain that we're predicted to see, some spots could be worse than Harvey levels. I know Kingswood got hit really hard yesterday, and we watched major infrastructure get tore up. I mean, it was a road, but it looked like a damn important road, you know what I'm saying? We've been losing a lot more roads and bridges than we've been building. And so Florida, I mean, the whole South, I don't know, technically everybody could be getting some type of weather, severe, floody, disaster type situation over the next 6 years. It's another reason why I've been recommending that we all train to be first responders. Yeah, I don't know. What if this is like a big civilization game? And like some people make it to Civilization 1, 1A. Some make it to Civilization 2. Some make it to Civilization 3. And then some never make it. So we stay at like Civilization 0 till the wheels fall off. I don't know, dude. That's what the media has been betting on. The people selling us the media for 20 years since Y2K. It's like the world's ending. We cannot make any plans for the medium term or the long term because the world is ending this weekend. So I encourage you Americans to look around and pick somebody out who you think it's their fault that things are so shitty around this world. Whatever you do, don't make good plans together with your fellow Earthlings and Americans. No, you know what you should do? You should impeach them and throw them in jail. You want to know why? Because social media, like the old town square, is just as smart as your detectives and police officers and investigators. So please go where the media leads you. Wait, what? I went on a tangent. And when the sun acts weird, I act weird. But also, it's like we got 397 rivers flooding. Hell, worst case scenario, you got half of America falling in the ocean. The middle, we've discussed it at length before. It's a real deal. It's a worst case scenario. And it looks worse every day. But hope is alive, and I got faith in Texas. Come on, Texas, maybe we got to be the lighthouse that shows the world how it is done. We can do it. Texas storm chasers. Severe storm exploded just west of Jasper. Likely seeing destructive hail on Highway 190. That's a cool highway. Up to Highway 63 near Curtis. Also watching for some weak rotation and flooding rainfall. Storm slowly moving northeast. And when I did have my Mustang, dude, I drove all over Texas. I love Texas. Texas is a great place. Charlie Lopresiti. If I mispronounced your name, it was probably for comedic purposes. It's the third wet and cool Friday in a row. Sweet. Cool is cool. Saturday will be the payoff. That dude must be in the Northeast, and he is. But we got lows moving in and out. And ladies and gentlemen, definitely, especially over the next week and for the rest of May, I highly recommend the King of Weather Twitter, although he's on hiatus, understandably. But his blog is on hiatus from Twitter. His blog daily is still usually up. I'll leave a link for it at the end, or go to my Twitter at New Thor. Stormhamster.com. The dude is about as smart as it gets when it comes to weather. And he breaks it down short term, medium term, long term. Like 90% of the meteorologists, he tends to focus a little more heavily on the Northeast, but he looks out for everybody when he can. I'll ask him if he can put out an extra eye for Texas, because everybody loves Texas, right? And if we're going to start giving away honorary Texan badges to people, meaning they can come live here, he's always got one, in my opinion, here in Texas. Okay, great. But yeah, check his blog out and just hashtag WX Twitter. All of weather Twitter is fantastic. And in situations, I know that, was it 2017 when we had Hurricane Harvey here? I left. I went to DFW like 5 days before or 3 days before it hit. I went to but I would talk to. I had like 5 friends who I would check in on like every half hour, 6 hours. Are you okay? And I know the Beastmaster and Apollo. This is his wife. They at one time they were like needing to find a shelter for that area because you didn't know where it was flooding. But so overall, like Houston did really good, but in major situations like that, people need the best up to date, up to the minute information you can get, and you'll get it on Twitter. Hashtag WX meaning weather Twitter. And so I don't know what situations we're going to see over the next 48 hours, but you know, if I put out an alert a couple months ago, then I better stick to it, especially when the sun is looking like it does. That's why, like, and I don't mean to be a jerk, because I love you guys. You guys have been super duper fantastic, awesome. You save me every single time I got to the edge. Like, I'm still alive. I still have electricity. You guys have let me bring you the truth as far as I know it. But I kind of feel like, dude, this is all I've done. I've never been married. I don't have kids. I've just tried to be some super genius that fixes the problems we have so we could have like a super party future together and build new cities and stuff. And so I can smoke a joint, drink a margarita, and make love on the moon. Was it talking about? Oh, yeah. So, but it's kind of like a classroom where everybody on the internet thinks it's, I don't know, it's some boxing match, but technically in times like this is more of a classroom. Like I've literally hit the bullseye a lot over the last 6 years with all my own theories. So during the major incidents, I don't really want to discuss dumbass theories. I don't really want to discuss theories that I don't agree with during a major event. And so, the sun, when the sun looks like this, when the sun acts like this, who knows what's coming next? And everything in our solar system evolves, bro. Just because mankind has been stuck in the mud, at war with itself, drinking Coca-Cola, figuring out how to make a gallon of gasoline more expensive, that doesn't mean everything else in the universe and solar system has stayed in one place. Okay, I'm trying not to be an ass or get preachy-teachy. Aerial photos taken today from our helicopter. Pilot Kyle Evans and TFO Michael Deutsch have been surveying the Brazos and surrounding areas. A flash flood watch remains in effect for the region until Saturday evening. So and you got bad flooding happening all up and down the areas. The Marines are taught to adapt to any type of situation, including natural disasters. Hoorah, Rathor. I've always liked Marines. My dad and stepdad were Air Force. My uncles were Army. But I've always liked Marines too. So we all have to find our inner Marine. Or some make it and some don't, I guess. Trying to save everybody though. All right, Erica Lopez. The heat is on. It's official. We hit a heat index of 100 degrees at Bush, Sugarland, and Pearland this afternoon. Comment below with a GIF to let me know how this makes you feel. I'm live, but I will try to get back to you later. Yeah, so attention, the first storms have gone up. Oh, let's go back to the crazy thing. And the internet is also like a crazy war zone. I'm gonna light my cigarette. I'm gonna check chat. What we got going on? What is happening? Hello, everyone. Hello. Can everybody hear me? I can die with a complete bucket list now. Shit, man. I thank Jesus Christ, Asteroid Fight Club, God, all my friends, all my families for to this day, I don't know how I'm still alive. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I'm just saying. There haven't been a lot of people that have allowed to stay out here counter to the narrative for too long. And they got that thing locked down. Like, and literally that's been my whole thing. Like, we need to unite. Regardless of what nation you come from or your religion, that the earth changes are going to be happening on a global scale, and the only way to prepare for them will to be as like a global family. And so the whole national outlook has kind of been, we're going to die, or I'm going to get raptured, and you're all going to die. And though I was born in Illinois, I was born to two Viking sets of grandparents, and then raised in Texas when I was 11. And so, no, we don't think that Satan's going to kick our ass. And no, we aren't going to sacrifice any man, woman, or child to the Mordor Skull Tower volcano of finance. It was funny. I got to meet a cool Hopi princess and Viking Marine a week or two ago. And I asked, and he's a Viking too. He's like, I'm one of the Thors. I'm like, that's cool. I'm number 7. Let's not get in numbers. I said, let me ask you, brother. Do you think in all of history there was ever a time where Thor or Odin asked for a human sacrifice or even an animal sacrifice? And he said, no, no way. And I said, yeah, no way, dude. No way. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, Vikings. We're like the original Texans or the original Marines. Air Force cool too. So's Navy, so's National Guard, so's Army. And but yeah, dude, this is a big deal. And so, like I said, that I put us on the gas giant watch. I said the 22nd is for the volcano shit. The earthquake shit could start as soon as the 11th. I could be totally wrong about everything. And so, honestly, like for the last 4 days, 5 days, so close to the 11th, I've been like, whoa, we're getting close. And so now we're like less than 48 hours away. I'm letting my cigarette here. And so we're here almost. I don't know what's going to happen. I know that there was a major earthquake in the Gulf of Mexico, like 7.2 in 2017, or was it 2018? And like this whole thing is literally volcanoes. Man, the whole planet's technically a volcano. And so I don't know what's going to happen. When I started doing this, at least around 2013, 2015, it's like, all right, we got to band together. And then it was like every single 99% of the people were like, hell no. And you know what? I'm going to do the exact opposite of banding together. I was like, oh, well, that's a dumb idea. But it's free country. And I gotta say, it's been weird because during the 6 years that I've done this, 6.33 or whatever, like I start out with Obama, and so when I would disagree with Obama, which I did quite a bit, people would get super pissed off and like, oh my God, you conservative asshole, anti-American. And I'm like, well, yeah, I believe JFK was the last president we had, and his brains got blown all over his wife. So I think corporations run shit, and presidents are like mascots. They can try, but at the end of the day, oil and war makes the decision. And then, in the last 2 years of the Obama era, and that wasn't his fault, like the media was real anti-straight white male. So that was interesting. But then it turned into Trump, and now the whole coin is fucking flipped over again. And it's almost like the conservatives have forgot that George W. Bush, everybody thought he did a decent job until the end of his presidency. Like for 7.5 years, Republicans were like, George W. Bush is fantastic. And the whole economy collapsed, and we had to give like $30 trillion to the banks, and people were like, and then they're like, oh yeah, Iraq had nothing to do with 9/11, so why did we go? And so they just like forgot it. Anywho, but so now like Republicans are like, if you disagree with the president, it's like, dude, that's my job, planetary defense commander. I'm not a yes man. I'll follow any, Jesus Christ is my King of Kings, but he ain't here right now, bro. And I'm doing the best I can. But I am being a bit preachy tonight, but we do have a mildly biblical situation going on. Though it gets into a discussion of the living word versus the written word, which is always, and I mean, I prefer to have that discussion as like a writer, screenwriter, even visual music video maker. But I think prophecy was given to us for damage mitigation. And look at that. See, we should have infrared scans for our planet so we can at least see where the magma is moving. Is that... Yeah, I mean, no matter what, if you have a volcano, you have multiple volcanoes here that have been extremely active all of 2019. That's going to have a major effect on the atmosphere, moisture levels, aerosols, I don't know, a lot of shit. if there is going to be a large earthquake in May, it's weird because it's almost like bad musical chairs. Like, where will the music stop? And if you watch videos on volcanoes, earthquakes, or films, science was always like, yeah, we're going to have this figured out by the 90s. We're going to have this figured out by the 80s. We're going to have this figured out by the... And then somewhere around the mid-90s, science was like, yeah, we're not going to figure out earthquakes. We're not going to figure out volcanoes. It's too hard. It's like going back to the moon. All the moon talk is weird. Okay. Yeah, this is a major deal. And I'm going to be in the middle of it. Oh, I should plug my phone in. Because I made a declaration that unless a Cat 5 hurricane is going up the shipping channel, I'm going to stick here with the Houstonians. Because the address on my driver's license is Houston. And it's my home. These are my people. I love them. So I'm going to go to the next one together. But is that going to be this weekend? I don't even know. And then we got like hurricane season a year away. We know somebody's getting hit in the middle of September. We know somebody's getting hit in the middle of October. Who's it going to be? I said it's either going to be Texas and Florida or Florida and the East Coast. It's subjective because another theory I have is we can almost pinpoint over the last 3 or 4 months leading up to the hurricane itself where the most moisture goes. And I think that will kind of be where the hurricane path will go. Because when the hurricanes, if they're Gulf Coast hurricanes, when they hit, the low pressure systems move up and out, especially based on the air alignment. So we got a lot of shit we're dealing with. Yeah, I get it. A lot of people are paid to throw it in the dirt, but God is good and humanity's saved itself every single time so far. And I know I'm badass, and I know some of you guys and ladies are really super badass. Yeah, that's a crazy looking storm. And if you go to Weather Channel, you got, at this point, life-threatening flooding is certain. You got like 400 rivers flooding. Great Lakes at precipice of a disaster. And I pulled all the weather videos today. I haven't had a chance to edit today's batch. But it says multiple Great Lakes are at dangerous levels, which threaten multiple towns and cities and states. Days of major flooding, destructive tornadoes. Minnesota city shatters snowfall records. Another thing, a pet peeve of mine is if whatever's happening with the sun and the earth and the planet is when people try to like put it into like some type of, oh, it's this or oh, it's that. How about we don't know? Like, let's erase the chalkboard and then look at all the different factors and try and prepare for all of them. That we don't really have a bunch of answers about the sun, about the weather. We have ideas, we have trends, but no one theory has them all. But you guys can do whatever you want to do. But I also think it's okay for us to disagree. Yeah, we are in what they call a solar minimum. And that thing, I haven't heard the official reports. I don't know if Suspicious Observers or Tamitha's put out anything on if that was technically a solar flare, coronal mass ejection. Looked like both to me, and it definitely looked like it had Earth-facing components. But it could have been high and tight. Who knows? They are better at that than I am. And the geo-effective component of every CME solar flare is always different. And it's almost like a metaphor for all the sub-stuff that goes on. That is definitely activity. And just, who knows what's going on. And it seems like there's almost like a little star, like a little neutron star inside of the sun. And so when they say that like a supernova, where like the sun can blow off its entire everything but the little neutron star inside. Which is another reason I've recommended bringing rock and roll back to Earth and comedy. Uh-oh, am I in trouble? Yeah, so we have 2 solar storms headed our way. All right, so let me get back to the... None of it makes any sense. We are in the upside down of private space. Welcome to the party, pal. Billy Forney, disconcerting if this verifies. Now we're looking at, I think, the worst for Houston and South Texas would come tonight and tomorrow. The models have shown, I think I mentioned it like twice in 2 videos, that one of them actually showed purple on one of these. And so purple is a whole lot of, like, they don't put purple on this board much. And so I know that Kingswood got hit pretty hard. And if you guys will remember, last year we went through a window where like Hawaii and then somewhere, and I think it was like Arizona, got 20 or 30 inches. Hawaii got 50 inches of rain in a day. But there were some areas that got 20 to 30 inches of rain in like 36 hours. And so that happened about now, meaning Mayday. And so, you know, I think we can see some pretty eye-popping rainfall totals for certain locations. And so, like, look at that. That's, how many hours is that from now? 18 hours from now. Anywhere between. But so that would be just like a heavy band of rain, banding slowly. I'll let it run. And so then that heavy band would so this was have us out of it by Monday. Sweet. All right. Here's our other thingy. There's a purple I'm talking about. And so we had the bomb cyclone that hit the Midwest in the middle of March, which kicked everything off. And then in the middle of April, we had that big super wind eventy storm. And so, you know, I said we would probably get a big, nasty, the nastiest of the May storms will probably come around the middle, meaning like the 18th-ish. And so this, I'm pretty sure it's this one. And this one is retrograde-y. It showed signs of retrograding, meaning that it advances forward and then it stops and moves backwards. And so the biggest of these storms is probably about 10 days away. And I don't want to get in trouble, especially if you're trying to help people. It's like a new way to look at life. I mean, okay, let's refresh this. But yeah, there are people out there who see situations like this and think, how can I make money off it? Oh, whoa. We dropped down. We went from 397 to 385. Technically, I can still round up, so the title's fine. But yeah, I can think of no, for a media that drones on about guns or vaccines, just the fact that this is happening and has been happening and gets like no attention whatsoever. It should tell you a lot what you need to know. Space birds come out of the sun. Irene Kiroris. Flash of the day. That was from the 7th. Back of camera shot. Oh, I'm on Tama's page. And the airplane's been having a bad time too. Disconcerting if it verifies. Matt Gray. Well over 100 lightning strikes in the past half hour centered around North, Fort Myers, and Suncoast Estates. A literal blitz. And so Florida, that was one thing I was trying to. It looks like Mother Nature's going to be picking on you as well. That with our big volcano hot heat action here, all the moisture that's coming up, wrapping around on the new electrojet water bulge equator, it's going to drag it over. And so the south, and that's going to include Florida. And I want to thank the head dude of India, because he had a zero casualty policy for their big Fanny hurricane thing. Cyclone. He said, I don't want to lose a single person. I was like, dude, Asteroid Fight Club medal for you. Because sometimes it feels like I'm dealing with a country where the right half wants to get rid of the left half and the left half wants to get rid of the right half. Let me tell you, that's not how it's going to work. United we stand, or divided we drown. And we're Texans, so we're not going to quit. I know what the other 49 states are going to do. So if some of y'all want to wait for the rapture, that's fine. Some of y'all want to wait for Thanos to snap you out, that's fine. Some of y'all want to wait for the president to fix it, that's fine. Some of y'all want to wait to the next election, and then hopefully your Democratic candidate gets in, and then they fix it, that's fine. I highly recommend everybody working together. All right, so the high pressure zone by England has been saving them a lot of rain, although I think they just got hit by a big one. I don't know, time is weird these days. But we're starting to see the low pressure systems hug up and down the coast. And so 2 of these systems over the next 2 weeks have potential to curve back up and punch the East Coast. Dadabu, not Dabu, but Dadabu, the Wave Master from Florida. He's been good about watching it. I recommend checking him out as well, especially during hurricane season. He's got a good understanding for the flow and the waves and the levels. All right. Travis Herzog, sick. The heat index in Houston is now 100 degrees. This is 5 hours ago. Technically 3. The combination of heat and humidity is storm fuel. We still expect them to fire up between 6 and 8 p.m. It's now 7:37. But there are signs some are already developing on the east side. Oh yeah, was it 2 days ago? I sat here for an hour or two and just listened to the thunder in the distance. That almost all day, 7 hour span, that thunder was non-stop. Non-stop. I can't remember a time where thunder was non-stop. Every second you could hear thunder. Lee County getting hammered with rain and storms this afternoon. A really messy evening commute with rain totals for some already exceeding 3 inches. I think this is Florida. Thanks, Jason Dunning. Sam Lillo, as we approach the start of 2019, Atlantic hurricane season. It's like 21 days away. The OBO, or best offer, is in a westerly state with increasingly westerly shear in the lower stratosphere over the next few months. Induced tropopause anomalies around 20 degrees north will be favorable for enhanced tropical cyclone activity. Yep, enhanced tropical cyclone activity potential this year. And we already know we're going to get hit by 2, but that's just like what we know. And that is an asterisk. Like, if we're lucky, one of them will curve out to the sea. I'm going to bet on it, though. Mike Higgett. A wet one Friday for Maine. Mountain snow possible next week. May snowstorms in the middle. Weekend update. Happy Mother's Day. All y'all out there, be good to your mamas. The chilly spring of 2019 continues. Hey, banger. What? Portland, ME. Mid-coast. Down east. The loaf. Me, we, Wex. Okay, so yeah, like, I don't know. Colorado's still getting some snow. Maine is still getting some snow. I think Minnesota's still getting some snow. Michigan might even. It's a volcano winter, summer, spring. Matt Gray again. Flood advisory now in Lee County as we're getting up to 2 to 3 past an hour. 3 inches of rain is a long time. Can I say that my natural state is to do what I can to like people? And so I like Sylvester Turner. I definitely love the firemen and the peace officers of the first responders of Houston. I just love this whole city, really. Colin Myers, this is exactly the type of night where you should stay in. I think even the mayor said it. They've had some police officers say it. Like, better be safe than sorry. And I highly respect that attitude. You know, we're saving lives here. It's not worth risking it. And usually, we only say that with ice. If you're going to get the heavy potential like we're getting, look at that. That is nasty. Why is it hugging the coast? That is weird. I remember my whole theory is that, yeah, sure, they can manipulate the weather a little, like 10%. But the overall big picture, no way, bro. No way. Unless it's like 10,000-year-old aliens, okay, sure, fine. But if it's just like first generation space pirates, then no way, bro. No way. And I've seen, especially over the last 5 years, I've seen the sun do a lot of weird stuff. I've seen multiple suns. I don't, and that's why, like, I don't know what's going on in the sky. I've never been up there in a space shuttle. I can't verify what the hell's going on in the moon. I just know that the sun has definitely been acting weird. It looks like the sky is 5D now. The colors are definitely more beautiful. And my phone is total shit when it comes to either representing the colors that are in front of me or focusing in a timely fashion. And being Thor of Thor News over the last 5 years, I don't even know how many phones I go through because they'll get busted or hacked and that all my phones are total garbage at focusing and representing the color that I see in front of me. That's sound advice. Please stay apprised of the weather situation and have a way to receive alerts. Okay, so yeah, that was my whole point. Where did you go? $400, $385. But this is over the next 48 hours. Dang it. This is over the next 48 hours. And so you can see almost the majority of Texas, and definitely the South, will be under some type of rain. And that, so the whole area with the that. Like, that can get real ugly real fast. And I would like to start having a real discussion with Texans about building my brand new city of the future somewhere in West Texas. You could build a city from scratch. It'd be wonderful. And who knows, maybe one day we'll find the technology to build underground. Asterisks. But I think Texans should and will prepare for these changes to set the tone. That strip of land, I think, is going to be important. What was I talking about? High wind watch in effect for the Anchorage hillside and turn again arm from Friday afternoon, Friday evening. A lot of the crazy shit has gone down in Alaska. Colin Myers again. Kids hitting it on the park. Once thunderstorms fire, we're talking about a substantial flash flooding risk. Overall through the morning, 2 to 6 inches widespread. Some spots could see 10 inches of rain by morning. Crap, I forgot to buy candles. Well, I still got time. But yeah, so let's... Because I don't think the models as we know them are... Why do I keep putting you in the wrong area? And can I mention again that you guys are awesome. Super duper fantastic. Wonderful. It's like that game, you know, how like you gotta stand up on a picnic table and then close your eyes, and then people either catch you or they don't. And since I've been doing this, you guys have caught me every single time. So thank you. Though I would like to say I think I've done a very good job as a planetary defense commander. I haven't been perfect, but I've been pretty dang good. All right. And yeah, I represent all the people, all the animals, and the planet. I don't give a shit if you're the richest dude on the planet or the poorest dude on the planet. You're still my brother, bro. And in Norse mythology, Thor lost like all his brothers. Technically the majority of the people and only the meek left. And so it would be nice to avoid making the same mistakes of old Ragnaroks. And we could do it. But definitely seeing this much precipitation popping up all over the place. Yeah, it's like the grumpy cat in everybody's mind, man. They're like, no, we can't win. No, we can't make things better. No, we can't improve. No, it's not possible. The Illuminati's too badass. The boogeyman is 10 steps ahead of us. Their time machines are extreme. And again, no. The era from 1999 to 2018, that era's done, man. But this kind of looks like a naga, where it's got the like, almost like a serpenty scorpion tail, and some type of like reptilian body with hooves, and a Irish bowler hat. At no point in time do I intend to hurt the feelings of any of these sky formation creatures. That is just a lot of moisture popping up all over the place. Now we're going to go to the future. Okay, so, but yeah, like that's just so much moisture. And that's so much more compared to what it was like 3 years ago. They don't have control over this. It's like people playing poker. Mother Earth is a crazy place. So it looks like we don't get jack shit as far as information on the other countries in South America. Technically, I would love nothing more than to unite the Americas, especially if we're going to prepare for the future. And I think we can actually build a super highway that goes all the way up and around the mountain spine, all the way up here, down, and then you could connect it to Russia. Some of it underground, some of it overground. But if you notice, I mean, it's the same basic pattern coming out of the bottom of the too much moisture. But so they're hitting the two continents almost in the same place, respectively, meaning like the heavy moisture is in the lower region and they're like there. But I would say as of right now, just by looking at this map, it looks like Uruguay is just getting hammered. All right, what am I talking about? But we've seen a lot of the storm systems go up into Alaska. It has a semi-active volcano range here. Hasn't been as much active as it was in 2017. Most of the activity's been down here. Where was the big 7.0 earthquake when Sinabung, is that Indonesia? And I got a weird feeling we could see Australian or New Zealand volcano activity. I think anything's on the books in 2019, 2020. Oh my god. Wanna know how badass I am? Sorry. Okay. No. What the hell's happened? Baby, come back. Please don't throw it all away. Give me a second. I promise it's going to be worth it. Okay, so in my research, I'm finding that a lot of the major earthquakes and volcano eruptions in the United States and Canada and Alaska come when the gas giants are on the same side, right? Okay, so that's where, like I said, that the solar system is just not balanced. Like it's literally tilting. And remember, I think the galactic core is to the side of Saturn and Jupiter. Okay, anyway, hold on. So on that theory of that if the planets are like how they may affect our atmosphere and our magnetic field, we're gonna go to because I'm tired of people talking about politics when it's 543 days away from the election. And so the president himself said, the election's almost here. I was like, well, actually, dude, we've got 2 hurricane seasons before that. It's really far away, in my opinion. So I decided to look it up. November the 3rd, 2020. Okay? Check that fucking shit out. Like, that is. It's like the day, like that day, Jupiter and Saturn are going to be aligned with the sun. That's pretty dang cool, man. I mean, now remember, I'm saying that because according to my chart, I'm a Sagittarius, Capricorn, Gemini. And Sagittarius is Jupiter. Fun, imaginative, creative, loving. And then Capricorn is Saturn, taskmaster, hard worker. And then Gemini is Mercury. Anyway, so I'm saying like I'm half Jupiter, half Saturn, or third. So this is cool for me. Hopefully I'll have a good year this year. But I'm just saying, my theory of all the gas giants on the same side causing the sun to act weird, earthquakes, volcanoes, having the Jupiter, Saturn, and I'll have to go back and check how often they line up like that. But it looks like election day is going to be a big day, dude. A big day. So that's interesting. But I say that more on like a celestial level. We'll be out here. Let me go backwards. Yeah, so anyway, it's a crazy world. It is definitely crazy where like the majority of people are like, no, dude, geoengineering. Geoengineerists control everything. And I'll have people like, no, dude, it's carbon. Carbon controls everything. So it's man or man. Everybody's telling me man controls everything, dude. Either through carbon or chemtrails. And G5. And I'm like, no, dude, it's the sun. I mean, look at all those religions that have been like Stonehenge and the Easter Islands and the Aztec pyramids. Like, I'm telling you, the sun and the weather and the planet, they're pretty badass, and they've been here a long time, a lot longer than smartphones. So that's all we got to do is make mankind snap out of it. And as soon as mankind snaps out of it, it'll be much easier to get a lot of cool shit done. And it'll be like we're going back forward in time. So what happened was humanity was actually doing really, really great from 88 to 94, and then they killed Kurt Cobain, and then Tupac, and then Big E. And then it was like OJ and the Highway, and then it was like Monica Lewinsky Dress, and then Kenneth Starr Report. And that's what I'm having. I'm having like deja vu. This is basically the Kenneth Starr Report shit all over again. And who is the star of the circus? The media. And I'm ready to get out of 1999, man. Or 1996. A moderate risk is in effect. Excessive rainfall, South Texas. Yeah, tonight's timing. It looks like the worst of it will be between 9 and midnight on Friday. But we'll have to continue to track it. Matt Lanza. Over Space City, we have a full update on the rain that is to come. Quiet so far. Houston, but do not be lulled to sleep. Rain will escalate in a hurry this evening, and severe weather is also possible. If you can stay home this evening, is a good idea. And I talked to my buddy Fitzroy, the other half of Silver Blue Sun. I was like, dude, we should go karaoke tonight. He was like, okay, unless it's going to be floody. And so I guess now I got to figure out how bad it's going to get. But if you've just joined us, it's really bad. There's like almost 400 rivers flooding. We've had levees break in Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska. I know that we're watching the Brazos River in Texas. Yeah, I think people should work together. I think we all deserve a second chance in a much better system. Okay, now this model tends to blow out the rain. Makes it all super puffy like that. Alright, so that's probably not a good model to use. So let's go back to the past. And we'll try and track it on the... And definitely there's a severe weather tornado component with this thing. Watch how it tracks back or grows backwards. Alright, I'm lighting a cigarette. I take like one puff and they go out. And so that is heavy rain across Louisiana. They've been having major flooding issues as well. They may have had a levee break today also. So that would be levee breaks in 4 states along pretty much the same river. And that Texas is going to have to be the leader. If it's going to be a states' rights issue as far as how to deal with this, then we're going to have to lead the pack. Everything about the storm is weird. And so it's pretty much anybody's guess, like, between now and the sun come up, there's the bear claw signal. Like, how deep this is going to get, how far it's going to extend, I don't know, but pretty much anyone from Matamoros up to under Waco, I mean, technically it's probably just Austin to boat, like, for this area, but it's going to be pretty heavy and pretty nasty. And then whatever is just sitting over Florida is giving me the heebie-jeebies. And I think Dada Boo, the wave master, and I agree that how Mother Nature keeps spinning up kind of weird low pressure systems out of this area has us both concerned for its participation this hurricane season. There's still snow in Denver and Wyoming and Idaho. Yeah, so right now you got snow going on in Denver, Wyoming, and Idaho. I mean, there's a lot of precipitation for all these areas. Oh, let me go back to the other one. Yeah, so there's no telling what is going to happen. Wonder if that was a volcano right there. You could probably check it. All right. Now, this part of the show, I'm going to talk gibberish about my life. Stay tuned if you want to. But I'm going through this weird stage like the last year where I assume that anyone who claims to be a female on Twitter or anywhere really digitally is just an algo from the artificial intelligence. Which takes a lot of the fun out of romance and I guess dating. If you think that like the artificial intelligence is taking control of the mind of all women, then all they care about is ones and zeros. And now I'm not talking about any of y'all. I'm just talking about in a dating sense. Am I making any sense? All right, great. All right, so that's Kalima. All right, so it's not Kalima. Oh, it's Fuego. That's what I should have. Un momento. Where did you go? There you are. Wait, come back. There you go. Crap. Where did you go? I have too many things open. I'm gonna get there. Maybe not. Maybe it was another thing. Okay, there we go. It's right there. So that would make it. Yeah. Bingo. I got it. Badass, dude. Oh, yeah. There you go. So yeah, we can see the. Is it Fuego volcano eruption on here? That's the Fuego Volcano. That's neat, huh? So yeah, we got here's some volcanic ring of fire west east Pacific activity. We got a volcano, but what's weird is this whole alignment here. I'm not saying all those are volcanoes, although they could be vents steaming out. And I want to say, we've extracted a whole lot of petroleum and then just replaced it with water. And if it gets that hot, wouldn't it just make all that steam out? So, man, there are wild card volcanic eruptions anywhere, really. Which is a good reason to legalize marijuana nationwide. Also, okay, so a week from today, I'm going to Denver to be part of LeakCon as an invited guest with a roster of very interesting people who talk about interesting subjects. Thrown by Diamond. Oh, and so Denver legalized mushrooms. So that's crazy. I know. I will say this: I've done mushrooms like 2 or 3 times in my life, and the only time I know for sure that I really like to do mushrooms is if I have an electrified microphone and I'm surrounded by a full band of people that I love. And so, like, if I'm in that situation where it's like, hey, it's people I know and trust, and we're just going to make music for 4 hours. That sounds fun. Doing mushrooms with a bunch of strangers? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? You gotta party smart, kids, and especially if you're in strange environments. You never know what's gonna happen. Okay, so I wonder if any of that is volcanic activity. Because remember, this whole region is volcanoes. And no, I don't think we're going to see any world-ending stuff in 2019 or anytime soon. I think we could see some major changes. And technically, what Nostradamus called the Great Cataclysm, where it will be like 9/11 times 100. Did you know that 1 million people have died in a flood twice before on Earth? That's right. In like 500 BC or 500 AD. Both times in China. 1 million people died in a flood. That blew my mind. And so we want to avoid that. Okay. I feel like I'm getting in trouble. That's what my intuition is telling me. Let's just get back to the basics. NWS, a moderate risk is in effect in our day one excessive rainfall outlook. Yeah, that whole area, if you were in this area, you could get heavy flooding. John Owner, a good portion of the day should be relatively quiet across the state, but as we get into the late afternoon hours, strong storms with heavy rain, large hail work their way across the southeast half of Texas through overnight. Flooding is a major concern. Dangerous flood potential this week, and an extra dose of mosquitoes all summer. Yeah. You know what's interesting about me going to Denver and leakcon? Since the last time I really left the state, I went to California. When was that? 2017, 2016. I haven't been sick since then. I haven't gotten the flu. Nothing. In like 2 years. And so I got a feeling just by going to leakcon and getting on an airplane, I'm definitely gonna get sick because airplanes are like sick tubes. You gotta breathe for sickness. She's a cheerleader. Cheerleaders are usually athletic, strong, beautiful, and smart. Okay, so this is what I want to show you. This is Russia today. It's like when people say, oh, they control the weather. Nah, dude, every single country is getting totally... This shit's out of control. So this is Russia, and this video has cows being swept away. There was a city, Mozambique, in Africa that got hit by a cyclone, and 95% of the homes were wiped out. 35,000 homes. Oh yeah, so on a scale of 1 to 10, the flooding situation is this bad. It's unreal. That's how bad the flooding situation is. That was supposed to be some type of satire. So, okay. Yeah, that sounds acting freaky. Wait. Yeah, I was hoping to take a vacation before hurricane season. Spaceweather.com, a great site. Geomagnetic storm watch. Minor G1 class geomagnetic storms are possible May 11th when a coronal mass ejection CME grazes Earth's magnetic field. A source of the CME is big sunspot AR2740, which propelled the solar storm cloud in our direction 3 days ago. Another solar flare May 9th began with a bang. Big sunspot AR2740 produced another solar flare. Yeah, that was today. This time, an impulsive C7 category explosion. Telescope on board NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory captured the extreme ultraviolet flash. And that was pointed right at us. So I'm going to say that's going to affect us. And I say that anytime it creates the X in my heart, it's an X-class flare. And, although it didn't make the X, did it? It made like a W. Whoa, dude, that is so cool. But yeah, so take your weird weather watch up a bunch of freaking notches. We might be at max level. There's no max level. I mean, there's all type of shit happening here. That's pretty magnificent. Radiation from the flare briefly ionized the top of Earth's atmosphere. There you go. Because I think light has an instantaneous component, and definitely somewhere between instant and 3 days. Radiation from the flare briefly ionized the top of Earth's atmosphere, causing a brownout of shortwave radiation over Asia, and the Indian Ocean. Frequencies affected were mainly below 20 MHz. So, yep. Smoke them if you got them. Get right with God, or whatever you believe. Definitely be good to your mama. She gave you life. My mom gave me life. Made me tough, smart. Mama's a badass. Although, you know who's really great? Grandmothers. So yeah, mothers are fantastic. But grandmothers are super fantastic. At least they used to be. Who knows? Maybe grandparents these days suck. I'm just kidding. This seems to misrepresent things. And see, look at that big hitch where it's going over the top. But I don't like that at all, this pattern, or like blocks off. I feel like there's something happening in the Gulf or around here. Okay. Yeah, the triple action. Not having it. Okay. Yeah, so another crazy thing on my planetary angular orbital momentum theory, all the low pressure systems look like planets and moons, bro. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like little ones. But yeah, man. That's some crazy shit, bro. Oh. So yeah. This is the thing, whatever's going on at the south of the planet. That is usually the main. Yeah, it's pretty concerning. And a low pressure system that is all the way just straight across India to Africa. That's super interesting as well. That definitely looks like a planet X with a bunch of little planets. And there's Eris. Yeah, whatever's going on here, it's pretty wild. I would turn this back on. Total cloud water. I'll go to wind. So there's jet stream. It's like straight across. And then it gets broken up right here. But that's really like 2 jet streams. And here's where your area is. I must get a tunnel going from there to there to there. I don't know, man. Maybe you were right, and Lex Luthor controls everything. Or maybe it's a female Lex Luthor. Relative humidity. I've gone way over time. Is anybody even here? 9 to 7? That is crazy. I guess I better get back on my game. Whoa. I'm sorry. If boobs offend you, at least they were fake. Drawn. Let me recap. The awesome super Dr. Tamitha Skov. Direct hit. Chronograph data and the NOAA prediction model confirms the latest solar storm launch should indeed hit Earth around the 11th. And then the one we just saw, that's the second one. And that definitely looks like it has a Earth-facing component. Hold on. Ooh. Let me go. I'm going to click here. I don't know technically everything we're going to see. Oh, but let me... All right. Crap. I don't know what this is.
I am comfortable in saying no one knows for sure what the sun will do next.
Stay cool. You may be asking yourself lately, man, why is the world going crazy? And I'm here to tell you, because the sun is going crazy.
Party dance time.
I don't know if you know this. Thor News is for winners, and that's why you're here. So stick around.
We've got a video message.
I'm gonna have to science the shit out of this.
Hit the button, baby. This is a Thor News presentation. Thor News presents. Welcome to Asteroid Fight Club. I'm your host, Thor. Today we have solar physics and planetary movements. The Sun Dragon has returned. Our sun, our home star, is pretty much still a major mystery to the majority of us. There ain't no sun expert out there. It's active. You're getting activity. Watch. There. It's active. You're getting activity almost across the sun. It's like a solar tsunami rolling over the sun mountains. But look, I don't know, is that one sunspots, 3 sunspots? And we get our box. But notice how there is the coronal. Dang it. It's taxing my system. It won't let me. Oh, can I tell you this? On days where I can't concentrate, I can't focus, I will watch really old movies and then cut them up for future use.
Adventure, discovery, knowledge. Now.
You listen to me. I'm still commander of this expedition.
You're not my commander. I know where I want to go, and I'm going there.
It ain't true. There can't be another world in the bowels of the moon.
That's on the moon, the dark side of the moon. Xanadu.
You seem to know all about it.
Oh, that's better. I was getting a mighty lonely feeling.
Helen, I asked you a question, but let's not lose our senses completely.
Hey! Hey!
Jumped on my back and tried to get at my throat.
A fire!
Spread out quickly.
Catwoman on the moon.
I don't know what to believe anymore. I'm still on command here.
It has been a long journey.
Hey.
Welcome to the moon.
Welcome to the moon.
There's still so much I don't understand. You are now one of us. Ask anything. We need no language, Helen.
Remember that our generation
Why is she standing under a toilet seat?
predates yours by centuries. We have no use for men.
Whoa. She worked for the Huffington Post? Maybe this is what's really going on. I love you, ladies. Moon spiders. Okay, back to the fun stuff. The weather. So yeah, the storms are expanding rapidly. Let's go back to this one. Crap, for 97 people, I wish I was doing a better job. I'm doing okay. Wish I had a sidekick, though. I won't be talking the whole time. Where'd I put the thingy? Are you there? No. Okay. Another great place to go. SpaghettiModels.com. It is my one-stop shop for all the best maps in one place. The Cranky's got a cool page. So look at this. There you go. Even though we got 385 rivers flooding now, there's a shit ton amount of rain in the next 7 days. And I think they got it totally wrong for Florida, but I think all of this shit is changeable. I just heard a gremlin. So definitely expect the weather to be weird, people to be weird, emotional ups and downs, and with Saturn retrograde, Pluto retrograde, and Jupiter retrograde, they say it's a heavy karma season. And so I guess the major gas giants know if you've been naughty or nice. I know you might not believe in planets, you might not believe in karma. I'm just saying, there's never been a better time to work together and to be cool. Oh, but look at that. That is definitely nasty. Look at that thing flaring up over by Tallahassee. I think the peak of college football for me was when Michael Vick was quarterback at FSU. Or was he Virginia Tech? Virginia Tech, yeah. But he played against FSU. Anyway, those were cool days. And he was the most exciting quarterback I've ever seen. Although Troy Aikman was the best. So yeah, so here is the heavy area. And then the models had been projecting a more... Actually, let me go to here. And if you're kind of just joining us, let me thank you again, Asteroid Fight Club, for taking such great care of me in the last 6 years, the last 3 years, and especially last year when my stepdad died. It's been like 1 year and 2 weeks now. That was I've lost two dads, a father and a stepfather, both I love to death. And thank you guys for helping me make it through the worst year of my life. You guys are absolutely amazing. Oh, but I'm going to say one quick endgame spoiler. So turn on the volume for like 30 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. The reason I didn't like Avengers Endgame was because like 3.5 billion people come back from the dead. And like I said, I lost my stepdad, who's one of the greatest heroes I ever had. And he's not coming back from the dead. So I just couldn't get into the idea of science saving the day with quantum. That it's better to prevent death, destruction ahead of time, instead of like letting it happen and hoping science will give you a do-over, a mulligan. That's all I would say about that. Okay, so like I said, the heavy area for here, the worst is not supposed to come until it's like 18 hours from now, anywhere from 12 to 18 hours from now. So the heaviest parts are still theoretically 12 hours away. And so this is the area we are going to... This is what we're really watching for, and that is it climbs over and moves up. Because as you can see, the bands we are seeing now are north of that. And here's another major problem for all the super river flooding is that these areas in Canada have been getting a lot of rain, a lot of snow, melting snowpack, and so that is majorly contributing to the Mississippi River flooding situation. And so come on, dude, don't stop on me now. Yeah, it looks like some heavy rain for all along the coast into Georgia. And this is mainly stayed above Houston, kind of the same Kingstown area. But look, so in, what is that? In pretty much 6 hours, it goes from there and it extends. See that? So this front has moved southeast, and then this is kind of formed and almost looks like it's going to be another front behind this. And what is going on, like with Florida? Because, like I said, that's been just been kind of hanging out over Florida all day. See that? Which don't make no dang sense. And so this situation, it almost looked like we were seeing volcanoes here. And so, yeah, but the very worst of the rain, as this continues to trail over the Mexican and Guatemalan volcano heat, this will descend south. And so this part will be getting heavy rain. And then supposedly anywhere from Corpus Christi to Lake Charles could get a pretty gobstopping amount of rain. I'm not going to try and put any numbers on it, but I got a weird feeling about the next 48 hours. And technically that 36 hours is leading up to my 11th to the 23rd May watch. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Okay, let me check out something real quick. No, wrong spot. There we go. All right. I still can't scroll up and down. I'm telling you, they have digital control of everything. Dak is okay. We live in Houston. Reminds me of Harvey. Yeah. And that was what was crazy about Harvey. Some areas got super heavy flooding, and then some didn't get that bad at all. And so, like yesterday, Kingswood got, 9 inches? And that tore up some roads and caused a lot of flooding. And I think they closed several schools in the Harris County just because the flooding is still continuously so bad. And with this flooding continuing to come in, I fear, it could get pretty bad, and hopefully we'll be finished by around Monday. But the thing is, I don't think it's going to be the 3 days of constant rain. I think it's going to be like a 20-hour period, and it could be heavy. But who knows? It is 2019. And I think everybody needs to be much kinder to your meteorologist, local, state, and national, because the atmosphere is unstable and things are unpredictable. Absolutely. And so the weather team across the world has been working together to bring you guys the best information. And I'm pretty sure we've all lost a whole lot of sleep since 2017. And if you think you can do better, go ahead. Technically it's a ring. You can step in and then just become the best weatherman, weather lady, earthquake predictor person, volcano expert by YouTube's like Thunderdome. Beautiful light show in Livingston, Texas. Oh yeah, the lightning has been crazy. Where is all the rain coming from anyway? That is a great question. And crap, I'm not organized. Let me see if I can find it, because I had it earlier. Because it was like this 1970s film. Was it in good space? Dagnabbit. best space. Let me see if it's here. Okay, maybe.
It was an age of volcanic activity. With volcanoes came their gases, including water vapor. These gases condensed and formed rain. In its beginning, it rained for countless years. The rain cooled the planet's surface. The rain eventually formed streams. These cut channels in the planet as the waters flowed over the terrain. The waters continued to grow larger in size. Streams widened. Small streams emptied into larger ones, creating rivers or oceans.
Okay, this is ESA from like 1970. We're going to listen to it one more time because they did it in a couple videos where they explained that when the Earth was like a giant magma ball, as it grew its magnetic field, and the core of it steamed, that the steam of the core, of the cooling core, the rain would get caught in the magnetic field and then fall back to Earth. So it was basically saying that Earth was a giant lava ball that cooled, and then the cooling, steaming magnetic field process trapped the steam in, and it created the rain and the oceans as the planet cooled. And so they say this in a couple of videos, which makes a lot of sense. And then, you know, in like the 80s, they were like, no, we changed our mind. We have no idea how water got here. We think asteroids brought it. I mean, it was like a total one. It's so weird how the narrative of space agencies has just completely changed since the Hubble. And so, in the theory that the Earth's core is growing, that technically a lot of the rain is coming from the inside of the planet, meaning like the steam factor. I know the theory that rain needs particles to collect on. And so, if we have been getting a lot of interstellar medium, several people have said we're in a much dirtier part of space than usual, and with all the comets going by, even icing all those microns, that, I mean, there are a lot of reasons for why Earth is so wet now. Specifically, I don't know though.
It was an age of volcanic activity. With volcanoes came their gases, including water vapor. These gases condensed and formed rain. In its beginning, it rained for countless years. The rain cooled the planet's surface. The rain eventually formed streams. These cut channels in the planet as the waters flowed over the terrain. The waters continued to grow larger in size. Streams widened. Small streams emptied into larger ones, creating rivers or oceans.
Anyway, so out of all those videos I cut, there's always really fascinating stuff from the past. And it was strange, like up into the 60s and 70s, they had a bunch of local defense, planetary defense, like disaster response office, the presidential office of disasters. Like, they seem to be much more interested in getting us geared up and ready for preparing for any future disasters than they have been. Beautiful light show. A lot of pockets of heavy rain in these thunderstorms, reds and purples. Yep. Thank you, Maryland. Roaming rains. I don't know. Should have listened better in class. Me or you? I was busy drawing and writing movies in class. But that's the whole thing. Like, science treats the sun like a light bulb. You know, like they're like, oh yeah, it's gonna last 5 billion years. We know 100%, dude. That thing's gonna last that thing's just like a big light bulb, and it's not going to burn out for 5 billion years because it's fusing. It's hydrogen and helium. So it's got enough hydrogen and helium to fuse for 5 billion years. So it'll be an unvarying light bulb. And I'm like, yeah, no. I think it's a dragon's egg. The sun is probably a phoenix. And this is not its final form. But this is pretty crazy. I mean, who knows? Okay, what questions? I've been talking for a long time. Just popped in. How is the rain in Houston right now? You're just an hour south. I don't think it'll get to you in like 10 hours. And can we all agree that Surfside, there's something about it. It's amazing and awesome. All of Texas is great. I love Surfside. Yes, me bro. Wouldn't water be present anywhere? Hydrogen and oxygen are present with energy source to combine the elements together. Sure. So I want to know if you 3D print glass in a vacuum, is it stronger than iron? Oh, the winds and the rain are here now. I can hear them out my window. I click on back over to, where did you go? Yeah, so if you were an hour south, my guess is you could get it as soon as 3 to 4 hours, but it's going to depend on how that heavy band, how fast it moves south. And it will technically, I think, be that stuff. Okay, so, yeah. Here's... I'm right around here. Technically, I'm at 5430 Birdwood Road, apartment 416, Houston, Texas, 77096. So if you ever want to drop me a letter or any type of support, you can do it at that address. And I appreciate it. Today I got musical notes and fruit cups and a wonderful letter of support from Minnesota and Michigan. They told me to have fun. I was like, heck yeah. Trying to have fun in Colorado. Yes, that address is somewhere around here. Just so you know. See, I can hear the rain is moving in. But that looks like heavy rain. And it's just going to kind of trail east, southeast all night long. Let's try and do the future again. Well, look at that square mark. Oh, yeah, circular. Come on, reload faster. So if you're just joining us, the coolest part of this whole program was that's the Colima volcano right there. So, I'm pretty sure. So we caught a volcano eruption in Guatemala here. But it's interesting and so this could be steam, literally steam rising up from within the planet, which is in these areas because the volcano Caribbean Islands? Who knows? But it is strange that modern science does not believe that the sun affects volcanoes or earthquakes. That volcanoes and earthquakes are technically just from tectonic plates rubbing on each other. Well, look at that right angle. It's but one thing I have pointed out is so this area right here, it's like a new atmospheric river, and then the other side of it goes up through here, like a big V, and then it goes across. What is causing that specifically, I do not know. Hopefully we can figure it out. But technically, I've had us on a earthquake watch on the 11th, and then the whole 11th through the 23rd is a big mayday volcano / earthquake weird weather watch. What day is it? Thursday? Technically, that's the weekend. And so I'm going to talk about some scary shit right now, if you can handle it. There was they call her prophet, Baba Vanga. Anyway, she got a lot of stuff wrong, but she did get some stuff right. Most interesting though is, although I think she predicted like nuclear war in 2015, and that didn't happen. But, oh, look at that. But she did predict a 9/0 earthquake in California in 2019. And here's the weird thing. She also predicted that healthy masculinity would come roaring back. And though I definitely don't want a 9/0 earthquake anywhere in the world, and definitely not in a heavily populated area, I would absolutely love for healthy masculinity to return to America and to Earth. That would help solve a lot of our problems. But yeah, dude, this definitely looks like inner core Earth shit happening to me. Because there just seems to be a lot of what is almost steam pouring out of parts of the planet. And like, what is that little thing? What? That seems extra weird, that little ball right there. And so, I mean, the heavy stuff hasn't even started yet. I'm just trying to get everybody ready, because it's supposed to get really bad. And we've still got 3 more weeks before hurricane season starts. And that's going to be pretty bad. But, you know, for the latecomers, just want to point out again on the idea that somebody controls the weather. There's just so much moisture everywhere. That wouldn't make any sense. It was like 5 times more than you would need to get your Lex Luthorians shit done. And there doesn't seem to be a safe place on the planet. Did you know that there were volcanoes in Maine? I mean, they're dormant. They haven't erupted in a while. Yeah, there's like a volcano up in Maine. Okay, now I'm going to play potluck. Man, I've been talking for a long time. It's crazy. And if someone did happen to send me super chat, thank you. I can't scroll back. Words. All of my digital shit is so compromised. Everything digital is so compromised. Houston area getting slammed with severe weather. Oh, and it's just barely begun. And so, like, on ideas of what you could do, man, I've recommended that Texas start to dig out a bunch of new lakes and then let Mother Nature fill them in. It's possible. And then, like, how deep can you dig? I've heard 12 miles, but who knows? And so we could make a lot of rain holding holes. I would recommend Texas start its own CCC cryptocurrency in case something weird ever does happen with the currencies, so that we would have our own backup system. Like what we can do to prepare for the future. And you can have like state credits when you legalize marijuana for like personal home growth and farming stuff, so that like anyone who's going to have bees, plant trees, or grow any type of food, that would be highly encouraged. Yeah, I would like to meet with some people who are totally in the know to talk about building a new city in Texas and what are the materials of the future that we can use. Because like I said, the whole theory that if you make glass in a vacuum, it would be stronger than iron. That's the type of material we would be looking for. The materials of the future. Cinco Ranch is now seeing some extremely heavy rain with storm ongoing. Hail is also likely falling there. Following the bomb cyclone that brought heavy rain to London and Paris on Wednesday, some dry weather is on the horizon for much of Western Europe. Overbanks flooding in red. Thank you, Jeff Linder. Dogs are cool. Pero. And remember, $385 rivers flooding. That is a sign of a healthy economy. $22 trillion in debt and over 375 rivers flooding. Your economy is healthy as fuck. 389. It was at 397 when I started. It has gone down. It's kind of weird considering it's heavily raining in a lot of places. Yeah, look at that whole complex, man. I mean, so it would be nice if Texas could get started on that City of the Future today. It's just a situation. And so imagine, if you will, because what we do here is we think of worst case scenario. And that under my planetary orbital angular momentum Eris alignment theory, we already know that, let me type it in. Where is it going to be? Okay, what year is it now? 2018? It's like October. Wait, October is the 10th. I think it's around the 13th, somewhere between the 13th and the 18th. All right. So this is what this is how I knew that Hurricane Michael could be definitely a Category 4, Category 5, because it came on the Eris alignment, or within the window. And so that's why I was like, be prepared for Cat 4, Cat 5. And everybody's like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, Eris alignment. And so, same freaking Eris alignment this year. We can definitely, I've been talking about the October hurricane pretty much since Michael happened. And so that we know that there's going to be one a month ahead of it. And it's going to be on this side where the Eris alignment, when we were here, it's not as bad. When we are that much closer to Eris, it's worse. And so, since Texas or Florida will probably get that one, or the East Coast. But I'm just saying, in a situation where this could be more flooded into hurricane season, and if we were to get the August or September hurricane anywhere in this region, when the low pressure systems, after they hit, they remain a storm. And so, like, let's say we were to get a hurricane up here and then have the low pressure system move over the area and then move out, that would be an absolute worst case scenario. And so it could bring a lot of heavy rain to areas that were already super flooded in a very short amount of time. And I think for 3 months I've been saying this is clear present danger number one, and should be all Americans' number one priority on how we deal and adapt with it. But hey, I'm only still here because like 1,000 miracles in a row. So good things can happen, people. Oh, now the thunder's kicking in, and here comes the rain. But I want you guys to know that I love you. I appreciate you. And that I think we've all been through so much since 9/11. I think we all deserve like a 1-year vacation. Although I like to work and kick ass. Yeah, that is definitely active activity. Wait. So these are like anyway, these are mostly it's like 24 hours old. But so this is that sunspot. I put some fancy filters on it. But so that is Earth size in relation to these two sunspots. And remember, as Tamitha said, that one solar flare that was directly facing us almost instantly ionized the top of the planet. So yeah, the sun is the main driver of the weather. I think sometimes it gives birth to birds. Space birds. But that would mean that outer space was probably filled with a lot of space bird poop, which is weird to think about. And what if space bird poop gets you high? Then you definitely need a spacesuit. Oh, and another interesting coincidence, the big sunspot that popped up and aligned with the Eris alignment. So there's definitely something to the whole Planet 9 Eris family thing. But we're in a star field. Oh. And the whole center of the galaxy is so trippy. That was a giant chunk. I want to show you this. Did I miss it? I guess I did. See, things are... I mean, Earth is tiny compared to the Sun and Jupiter. Teeny tiny. So yeah, Earth. It'll be interesting to see what the solar storms bring. And since I've been alive, they've never, ever, ever brought doom. They have probably brought some emotional outbursts, though. And another point that I have made is that I would call this the year of the coronal hole, where it seems like the sun has had a major coronal hole on it somewhere almost the whole time. And so I would honestly estimate that Earth has gotten anywhere from 20 to 40% more solar wind than usual on a per year over, which I definitely think is charging too many particles and making the atmosphere more unstable. I definitely think humans have the ability to absorb some of the energy, and we can technically transmute this shit. Which reminds me, I gotta get my guitar amp out of the pawn shop by tomorrow or I lose it forever. It's a 75 watt line 6. I love that thing. It definitely helps me transmute energy more. I haven't played an electrified guitar in like 3 months. It'll be fun. Okay, so this is a major blast on the 4th, and this is a pretty heavy hitter, although it's up and away. But just like, look at that thing. Kardashians are really spoiled or spioled. I know Kim got 17 people out of prison. Kanye wrote a bunch of badass songs. I think Kim Kardashian is a lot like my sister, where my sister's like a really smart business sense super genius, but she can play dumb like Marilyn Monroe with the best of them. And so, I know and Kanye seems to be a bit crazy, but extremely smart and extremely talented. So, usually people like that stick together. Asterisk, I don't know. But I'm saying that, I don't know, I got no bad vibes against the Kardashians or Kim. Sure, yeah, it was weird to become famous from a porno tape, but wow, look at that. What was that? Yeah, that was the end of April. But the amount of hate she gets, I don't think she deserves it. And she's really attractive. So it is always weird when, women are hating on her. Because she's really attractive. But there's been like this anti-boob movement almost since Monica Lewinsky, where the media's been anti big wonderful boobs. And we were all raised on boobs. Boobs represent safety, home, love, warmth. I mean, can you remember a time where you had your face in boobs and you were not happy? And if you can't, that means you're probably in a relationship too long. But here's another weird thing. I would joke about. I was used to joke. I would joke that hey, the sunspot caused dark matter. So this is one of those sunspot or flare causing dark matter moments. Although technically Kendall's the hottest Jenner if we were going just by looks. My opinion. Look at all that space bird poop out there. Can't even see the size of Earth. There's the 22nd. Like I said, the 20th is probably going to be the big day. Aw, I love you. I know. Whoa, now the rain is really coming in. Let's zoom in on it. What is it, 9 o'clock on Thursday? Flash flood warning in effect. Like I said, the worst, the Houston rain and the Texas rain, this will go for through the middle of Saturday. Pretty much the majority of places east of the Rockies is wet. I know, like, it's the whole thing about beauty. Because if you get into like the mythologies and stuff, you know, the male gods were extremely attractive, and the female gods, demigods, were extremely attractive. And in other cultures, like, rarely did the male god stay faithful. They usually ran around making out with a lot of women, having a lot of babies. And so it's kind of like that now, you know. I know it's not surprising to see males and females gorgeous like demigods and goddesses. I know that I happened to go to a concert where Alexis Knapp was there, and she was more of a, she was the most, out of all the females I've ever seen, she was the one that looked like she walked straight out of a comic book. Like, unreal. Was it talking about, oh yeah, I don't know. Beautiful women. They're a force of nature, and they, like any great work of art, they make you feel something. Whether it be love, hate, desire, confusion. Any good artwork is going to make you think and feel. Yeah, that's where I am. Technically, I'm where the little thing is. Hey. So yeah, this is just going to keep streaming and moving. All right, let me go back to the chat. Okay, let's show it. Boobs and butt. I thought they were aliens from Star Trek at first. Damn, you had to read out my typo. Oh, you know I love you, violinist. If that really is your name. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. Boobies are cool. I've had to try and grow my own. It's okay, I'm a butt man. And I'm pretty sure the Lord gave us all at least one attractive feature. I think mine might be my eyes. I don't know. No, I think it's my nose, which is weird. But girls are always like, you have a cute nose. And I think that's the reason any girl ever kissed me, just because I had a cute nose. I don't know, but it is weird that America really likes to demonize any beautiful woman who's successful at anything. We fear what we don't understand. And I definitely don't understand beautiful women. other than they really do like bad boys. And then they like to go on social media and complain about bad men. So that's weird. Yeah, look at that whole. I don't like that. It's like a whole circle around the Gulf. Yeah, what a weird time to be dating. Although I'm not dating. The post-Tinder era. But look at that. Exciting stuff. 389. What time is 9? Okay. So in conclusion, for the 12 people that are still here. So yeah, the last time I went to, so I'm supposedly going to Denver in like a week to go to LeakCon, which you guys can purchase the video live stream of the 2-day thing. From what I've heard from Dave Diamond, the live stream is in the information box. Anyway, so the last time I went to Denver, it was like 4 years ago, almost exactly. And I went, and me and my buddy Jack Steele, we videoed a commercial. We shot the Denver International Airport for like 4 or 5 hours. And then we went out drinking downtown with friends. And we got taken on a bank tour of all the vaults, the bank vaults under Colorado. Because it used to be Wall Street. I mean, that's where all the mobsters and gangsters and rich people would keep their money, their marijuana, their gold, and their guns. And then we went to Vail Mountains, buried my dad's ashes, and I went out to a bar in Vail. And then we left town. So we did quite a bit in like 3.5 days. It's quite an adventure. So I'm hoping that this trip is going to be a whole lot of fun. Though there's like a 2% chance bad guys could kill me. That would be okay because then you could bury me. I'd be right near my dad. Well, there's that lightning thing. Anyways, that whole story has definitely some. You see, like it's got that. I don't like that. Whatever's going on in the Gulf. But we aren't seeing any earthquake signals in the. Or volcano signals in the one thingy. That. No. This one? No. That one. So there's no, I mean, I'm not, it's when you get the black. And so we don't see that at the moment. But I'm going to keep my eye on it. Anyway, so the whole Colorado point was that I was just trying, because I've got like 7 hours of footage from that trip. Man, I have so much real-life footage that I never go through. And so I was just trying to go through it a little. And so I cut together a little. Can I give you an idea? Well, I probably won't play well. Ready? Here we go.
So this is where they kept the gold, the guns. 900 BC. The Chinese invent the first paper money. Come on, dude, what the hell are you waiting for? We got a party.
Yeah, move along smartly here.
This man, you're wonderful.
So, here we go. They kept the currency and the gold bars down here. Super secret location. Not a lot of people knew it was even here. I got the door open. It sticks for some reason. Bulletproof glass. You can see it's about half an inch thick and maybe an inch. Everybody had them in their possession when they came to maturity. You would go in the little room and clip your coupons. They used to have little folding doors across them so you could have privacy, but that is Japanese cherry wood. The lamps are cut crystal. 18 tons on the vault door on the inside. And you can see where the time lapse came into pretty good play because vault door is on the inside of the vault.
Wow. This is awesome. Okay. Aardvark for Asia Minor. What? Sea trade opens between Egypt and Phoenicia. Thank you. The Greeks strike the first coins in 700 BC.
Okay, so the first coins were created in 700 BC. Paper money was 580 BC by China.
Payment in money takes the place of barter, 700 BC.
So 700 BC is when they stopped bartering and they came up with something other than barter, which is like a representation of a store of value. And then shit got unhinged. It's like the whole thing where Jesus kicked over the money changers' tables. Like if they hadn't created money 700 years ago, that had never happened, and then he never got crucified. It's just interesting to follow the money. That's always like, if you really are searching for the truth and trying to figure shit out.
Oh. That's good to know. The first U.S. coins struck in Philadelphia.
1793, the first U.S. coins were struck
And I
in
would like to point
Philadelphia.
out, if I can, that this wonderful restaurant was established in 1972, 1 year after the dollar was depegged from gold by Richard M. Nixon.
Just all kinds of fun financial facts. I like it.
And this is why he doesn't ever get late.
Technically, I make love. I don't just have sex.
Wait.
But thanks.
This is a restaurant.
Oh, you guys almost have it. Almost. It's getting there.
You're getting
So they turned all these major vaults into restaurants. And I gotta find a picture of it. Every single one of these bottles is a Rothschild bottle of wine. I gotta find the picture that's on the bottle because it's very fascinating.
I need a course for kid projects. Yeah, I'm actually the owner's wife is a teacher.
And I definitely hope the Rothschilds are a better family than the Lannisters. Although Tyrion is total badass. Jamie, why did you let me down? Or no, maybe he's gonna kill Cersei. I would be happy if Arya killed Cersei. Although if they were like, if they were like, okay, everybody can have your own kingdom and we can all just get along and rebuild, that would be awesome. You would think you could celebrate defeating death and the White Walkers, but no. And this is why I was like, man, I like to edit videos, because if I had to do like a 2-hour, 3-hour live stream, it'd probably be filled with a lot of fluff. Though I don't think there's a lot of fluff in here. This is probably mostly just repetition. And now I'm getting anxious about Colorado. And did I mention but we spent, I don't know, 5-6 hours walking around all of the DIA airport, and it's one of my favorite airports of all time, and I didn't get a single evil vibe out of it. These murals are some of the most beautiful paintings I've ever seen, like especially up close and personal. That's what, like, the internet just likes to doom everything. Like, that is gorgeous, and it's, you can touch it. It's not hidden behind anything, and that, the colors are vivid. And I mean, there were murals everywhere. And so it was just a really cool place. And so I'm excited to go back to see what they've done, any changes they've made. But I just think it's weird that, that the internet and YouTube blew it. Like, this is like, we were expecting some really big conspiracy, like, we're doomed. But it seemed like a really hopeful place. But Colorado is like Texas. It has a spirit all of its own. And they're mountain men and women. There's a bunch of weird stuff in the like that flat, like the flower, and there seemed to be like some alien flower of the future. Oh yeah, and I got to try marijuana. That's interesting stuff. I think it'll be popular in the future if it's ever legalized. Okay, but here's the true story. So like when I got there, you know, we were hired to do a commercial, and there were some friends out there, and so everybody kept giving what they call edibles, and this is just the oil and war machine right here. And he gets defeated by the kid with the hammer and all the children who unite. And so when we went out there, everybody kept handing me edibles, being like, "But you better watch out, man." And so I just ate a bunch of edibles and had a blast. And we walked around the city. I guess your marijuana consumption is not like anything in life, where it has a lot to do with the company you keep. And so if you're with cool people in a cool environment, then you're probably going to enjoy it. Though, please, adult consumption, and if you've never really consumed it before, definitely don't drive. Yeah, so I still want to say that these murals they're gorgeous. I've been to museums, I've seen paintings, and these were just dang spectacular. And so this is like the flower of peace. That kid's wearing a cowboy hat. Man, if you want to fear the rainbow, go right ahead. Fear, it's what's for breakfast. This thing was weird. And this would be if you're a flat earth supporter, because like it has earth down here in the bottom, but it's flat. That's a whole globe. That's earth. That's earth. There's a flat globe. And so that's earth flattened, but then it has kind of like these, I don't know if it was train tracks or comets, those things that are going up. I couldn't figure out what the hell this thing was. See the train tracks, and then it has the arrows up there. There's a bunch of stuff in this airport. So you got 7 hours of footage from my Denver trip, and that was just 3.5 days. But this looked like it looked like an alien planet. So maybe the alien flowers are coming to get us, man. The alien flowers are coming to get us all. And then we went to the Vail. That's when we went to bury my dad's ashes. The Vail Mountains are Colorado Mountains. I love the Rockies. Totally love the Rockies. It's raining up in Colorado too. They get a lot of hail. Shout out to Apex Roofing. If you're in Colorado, they're the #1 roofing company in the Four Corners. And shout out to the Palmer family. You guys are amazing. Yeah. So anyway, I'm excited about going back to Denver. I hope I live. And it's always interesting. Hopefully, anytime you get multiple truth community people together, hopefully we'll get to talk to each other and stuff, because, sometimes people have a problem communicating with people that they disagree with on anything. We got to figure out how to get that shit under control if we're going to do some good things and work together. I'll double check on the airport and all its art, but why I love her. And another thing about DIA, it had more couples holding hands and giving each other flowers as they would get off the plane than any other airport I'd ever been to. And here's the funny thing is, in 2015, this is when I was working full time as an audio-visual trial technician for lawyers. Sometimes working over 80 hours a week on big, huge civil cases. And somewhere near the end of the year, I decided to give it up to do my YouTube channel full time. And so technically here I'm chubbier than I am now, because lawyers always used to take me out to lunch or dinner every time we'd work together. Sometimes both. But I was lucky. I got to work with some of the coolest lawyers in the universe. But I definitely learned a lot. If you sit through 100 depositions, you learn a lot. Although it ruined my ability for conversation because lawyers are so good about getting to the point when they need to. And they don't like extraneous information. All right, so now I'm just... All right, so yeah, whoever was here, thank you for being here. I guess it's going to get floody. It's going to get weird. Hopefully we will wake up. But as it was explained to me today, technically, no matter the disaster, the federal government is not here to help you. That is your state's job. So it's states' rights almost, or states' disasters. So the state's got to come up with solutions for their own problems. Which would explain why the West and the East have completely forgot about everything in between. I guess. I don't want to be cynical. How about you? Oh, the Dow Jones rebounded. Oh, and let me say officially, other than the nothing digital is safe factor, I think if civilization doesn't collapse, cryptocurrency will be a decent investment. And I would probably even recommend it over gold and silver. Because they're probably pulling asteroids onto the moon or into the ocean. But I haven't had any major hacking problems for a while, so I don't want to start getting into trouble now over information that isn't specifically going to help us in the near future. Okay, so you guys are great. I'm great. We're all great. But let's get better. We can all improve on shit. Definitely. But I'm a big self-improvement junkie. I'm trying to find a good... So yeah, Texas, this is tomorrow. And we will be monitoring the system through then. But the weather, and we'll be watching the Midwest as well. And the 11th is the big earthquake day. But the 11th to the 23rd is something up here we need to keep our eyes on. Come on, let's work together. What is the worst thing that can happen if we work together? The abundance is a test. And right now, Mother Nature is giving us a whole lot of everything. All right. Dude, Obi Kenobi, the high ground. You were awesome. Crazy Hell at our house in Aurora, Colorado. How big was it? I love Aurora too. My dad used to live in Aurora. Man, and I'm hoping, because the leakcon was it Friday and it's Saturday. I don't know what time it ends. I don't really know much about it. Oh, that was Heavy Thunder. And so I think my nights, like post 6 p.m., both nights are free. So I don't know what's going to happen. And I haven't had a lot of fun or partied much. So, I'm hoping to get some good ambush, surprise people show up. I know it would be cool if Alex Parker showed up. I'd like Palmer, Michael and his uncle to show up. That would be great. Anybody who wants to show up for the night stuff. Hopefully I'm going to walk around. Although I tried to hook up something like, yeah, dude, put 4 or 5 truthers together in a room live and have them talk. We don't ever get to see that shit, you know? But I don't know if that's going to happen. I just want you to know I'm never here to throw anybody under the bus or make anybody look bad. I just would like to show examples of adults disagreeing civilly. It's fascinating when it happens, though it's so rare in modern society. But yeah, that's the situation. And not a single moment of life is ever guaranteed to any of us. That is crazy. Please talk to the gargoyle while you're there. I will. I don't know how much time I'm going to spend in the airport. You know, if I had my way, I would do like a Not Through Monday fundraiser. And then I would rent a car and then drive to Colorado, because all these planes have been crashing lately, and I think it would be a whole lot of fun to drive there. There's so much cool stuff in between. Although, would I really want to drive out there without a sidekick? No. Road trips are so much more fun with other people. Oh, so yeah, the whole point was, so I tried to look at the gargoyle's junk, but I didn't get a camera, which was hilarious. But somebody went and looked at it for me, and yeah, the gargoyle has no junk. But supposedly it's there to like protect your luggage the same way the gargoyles are on buildings to protect against birds or spirits. I don't even know. But I'm hoping they're going to have some new stuff, because we pretty much canvassed that whole... We went around every level to everything we could find. And we estimated we got like 92% of it all. So hopefully they'll have some new stuff, because I've pretty much seen the majority of it from last time. What up, Luis? What up, gang? Howdy, folks. Just joining in from Florida. I hope everyone is doing well this evening. Heck yeah. Although it's about to get super floody in Florida, you guys have pretty much had some type of moisture spot hanging out over you almost all day. And that the model runs have been inconsistent. Thank you, Obi-Wan, for your constant support. And thanks to everybody out there, whoever said any prayers for me. I needed those as well. It's been wild. What's he talking about? Oh, yeah. So it's the very south, the coastal regions, and Florida are the areas over the next week I think we're watching out for. I need to re-put this shit together and then come back on once I find my sense of humor. I said to myself. Okay, wait. We're going to watch the Caribbean. I wouldn't be surprised to see volcanic activity out of there in the next few months. But so there, like, that little, there's like a low pressure spot, that thing. At times it has shown that major chunk trail over Florida slowly. Here it has it just kind of disappear and then reappear back out. And then some of the models have shown that low pressure system spinning back around and then hitting the coast. But overall, they've been pretty inconsistent as far as what they show from run to run. Which is why let's see what he says. There must be an attractive lady, single, possibly even one of my crushes, watching right now, because I can't seem to log off no matter how hard I try. Your magnetic field must be strong. The Pacific Eye has been stunning feature, and it's not done putting in work. Early week implications out east. Its decapitation process is equally incredible. Worthy of a long satellite loop project once all is said and done. I just keep thinking, what if 10 weeks earlier? That seems like a snow weenie joke. But all props to Cranky. I consider that dude a friend and definitely a badass member of Asteroid Fight Club. And hopefully he will get all the rest and relaxation. Whoa! That was close, dude. Before hurricane season. Yes, the high pressure. Wow. And then Anthony Macedo, another Asteroid Fight Club All-Star, a series of anticyclones dropping from the Urals into Eastern Asia and Northern America will team up with propagating MJO and Western Pac tropical system to extend the split. Split mode cancel. Hello? Yeah, the Pacific has been pretty spectacular. All right, we're now over at Cranky's little blog page. Though it's not secure. I don't want to get hacked. That's going to be loud thunder, too. Yeah, lightning's near me right now. Tuesday nor'easter. Oh, shit, I should be charging my phone. We don't lose power much here. Asterisk. Tuesday nor'easter. Okay. Upstream collision of importance. And I do want to mention during the next 2 years, which are technically volcano seasons, that I don't understand the relation between ice and volcanoes, but it exists. So I wouldn't be surprised to see snow any month, almost anywhere over the next 2 years. Upstream collision of importance. Watching our once Hawaiian upper level low towards the bottom left come eastward and interact with the developing upper level low dropping southwestward through Nevada and Utah. The Hawaiian low will split up with some going into the new upper level low development over the southwest, with the rest heading eastward towards the mid-Atlantic and northeast. Downstream collision of importance. This sets the stream flow speeds, the implications of which are discussed in depth in the prior blog entry. Our rapidly developing low to the east of Newfoundland will interact and merge with the retrograding low east of Greenland, creating a large new upper level gyre. Man, the lighting outside my windows. Whoa, popping off. This trough over central Canada sweeps east and becomes the first component to that new northern Atlantic gyre and may dictate its final position. Whoa. Can you guys hear that? Dictate its new final position as it absorbed into and wobbles off its axis. I like the way Cranky draws stuff. The Hawaiian piece, well west of the Baja of Mexico, and I are just enjoying it. It's a little reprisal here. You may have a mid-level jet undercutting it, a good dig redeveloping down its west flank, courtesy of the continued eastern Pacific High wave break. It has created that little chalice-like configuration you see in the strong systems, and the divergence to the east is noted in the new uptick in expanding convection. Whoa. And that looks like a whale tail. The final piece to this puzzle is a strong energy diving into the top of the large Pacific High from the Yukon down into central Canada. Look at all those pieces of all the puzzles. And so, I'm in suspense. I don't know where he's going with this. Well, I guess he said nor'easter. All right, let us put all the pieces of the puzzle together. We need to see both how the upstream and downstream upper level low developments take shape and how they affect our stream flows out east before the components that go into crafting our potential nor'easter interact. I need to drink some liquids. And he discussed that shit in detail. He's one of those guys that's so good at a subject, he's like, whoa, that's too much information too fast. Slow down. Good problem to have. Our rapidly developing Newfoundland storm will drive upwards and merge with our retrograding Greenland storm, forming a new gyre. Say it however you want to. The central Canada trough comes east and merges into the new gyre and dictates where it will be set up as our storm components advance. 4. The retrograding descent of the western U.S. energy in response to the Pacific high-pressure wave breaking will force it to head southwest and then interact with the incoming Hawaiian low, forming a new upper-level low that will anchor in and dominate the southwestern U.S. for the upcoming time frame. That interaction will shear out the Hawaiian system, splitting off a piece to head towards our region as the important upper-level energy from northwestern Canada drops in and catches it. We will see coastal development as a result. How strong? I don't know. What rate of forward motion? I don't know. And what track, again, is up to how the downstream interaction takes shape over the next 5 days or so. I wrote that in great detail in the prior blog entry. To the far west is the next stage in the longer range pattern as our Pacific jet is about to decapitate the large Pacific High and end the split flow pattern. Put it together, and here is the newest WPC forecast for Tuesday morning with a strong upper level low over the northeast and a mature coastal storm. Is it a nor'easter, though? Likely to qualify as a nor'easter, complete with gusty winds, high surf, and cold wind-swept rains. It may even sneak out some wet snow in the mountains of West Maine. So yeah, I'm gonna give you an A+ on that crank, and we will see. But I'm gonna go ahead and believe you. And then I'm gonna steal your graphic for possible future reference. Although I always attribute him. Okay. Late period. It's that time of the month. Our impressive high pressure system is about to be. Why are you using decapitated so much, bro? Freaking me out. And you know, if you're like a samurai fighter, it's actually pretty hard to decapitate someone in one sword stroke. This was a very unique feature, and we discussed it along with many other items in the first morning blog entry, which covered global interest from the week. No, I've never decapitated anybody. I've just heard that it's actually really hard to sever a head from shoulders. Look at that hot streak right there. The elimination of the Pacific High gives us a free pathway to all these West Pacific and East Asian disturbances. Oh. Interesting feature, full week blog, week in review. Dang. Trying to get to today's storm. Winter, spring. Ooh. Snow depth. Wow. Damn, he's good. It's kind of look like butt cheeks. Oh, another thing. There are volcanoes in that area. Although maybe I'm too volcano trigger happy. You guys got to keep me humble and in check. Because nobody's got all the answers. Man, that thunder's rumbling. Okay, now I'm going through real fast. I'm trying to get to his resource page. Oh, I almost forgot. All right. I don't know what he's going to say here. I don't technically. It's not a representation of how I feel, but I'm going to go ahead and read anything that's got Mr. Rogers double flipping you off. To Twitter's geopolitical experts, social justice warriors, thought police, community rule makers, and self-proclaimed weather and climate experts, get bent. Never seen such a pulsing pile of crap doing nothing more than destroying society or making a complete mockery of science with every tweet. Hashtag saving lives, hashtag warning the public, hashtag we warned you of this, random hashtag. Can only hope you're not so influential outside the pattern as you're on it. Okay, A, that is why I'm in charge of the pep talk speeches. And B, although I don't think the weather Twitters, I think weather Twitter's done a great job, but I can definitely understand the being upset with Twitter. It's changed like many things. Yeah, everything's gone all negative all the time. Wow, that was some heavy thunder. Rolling thunder. Where's my up-to-date map? Okay, so hopefully I got the word out that, yeah, we got some heavy flooding going on. And what are we at now? 389? I'm definitely going to go live again if we cross 400 rivers. Because the big benchmarks will be 400, 450, and then 5. And if we get to 500 rivers flooding and we haven't done anything different than we've done, yep, 403. There you go. I just had to stay on until we hit 400, so the title of this video, even without rounding up, was not a fib. 403 rivers flooding.